Hello, book friends. Welcome back. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. So I want to share with you guys my June TBR. So grab you a drink and I'll be right back. So guys, today, like I said, I wanted to share with you all of the books that I plan to read in the month of June. As you all should be fully aware by now if you watch my channel. Of course, I'll have some audiobooks thrown in there that I can't show you right now because I don't know what I'm going to read, child. But on audio, that is. I wanted to share with you what I am physically going to read on today, and I'm going to start with one of the books that was actually on my May TBR that I did not get to because I have become quite the mood reader, but I'm going to slide it on over to June, and hopefully I will even get to this. We shall see. I really want to get to this book, and it's Stacy Willingham's Only If You're Lucky. And I have a couple of her books already, which is why I really want to read the newest release so that I can go backwards. So far, I've kind of been working off a lot of the older releases on some of the new authors that are new to me. But since I already have a few new releases for this year, I figure if I have those, I'll go ahead and start those and then go backwards. So she is one of those authors. This is a thriller. The few people who have read this book already, has given it pretty good reviews. I can't remember. I don't think this is... No, I'm thinking of the other book. Okay, anywho, I am going to read the synopsis for the books that I have on today, so that you can kind of get an idea. I may not read all of it because once I see that I may be going into too much detail, I'll just stop. But like I said, this is Only If You're Lucky. Lucy Sharp is larger than life, magnetic and addictive, bold and dangerous, especially for Margaret, who meets Lucy at the end of their freshman year at a liberal arts college in South Carolina. Margaret is the shy one, the careful one, always the sidekick and never the center of attention. But when Lucy signals her out at the end of the year, a year Margaret spent studying and playing it safe, and asks her to room together, something in Margaret can't say no. Something daring or starved or maybe even envious. And so Margaret finds herself living in an off-campus house with three other girls: Lucy, the ringleader, Sloan, the sarcastic one, and Nicole, the nice one. The three of them opposites, but also deeply intertwined. It's a year that finds Margaret finally coming out of her shell she's been in since the end of the high school. And when her best friend died 3 weeks after graduation. Now Margaret and Lucy have become the closest of friends, but by the middle of their sophomore year, one of the fraternity boys from the house next door has been brutally murdered, and Lucy is missing without a trace. So, first of all, them quiet ones, you got to watch them, okay? You have to watch those quiet ones, okay? I'm not saying I already know what the twist is or who I think done it, child, but I don't know. We're going to find out. So this next read that I have already started this, guys. It's the second day of June, but I had to go ahead and jump right in, and it is The Perfect Divorce by Geneva Rose. I had to jump on this one. I figure I'm going to fly right through this book. Like I said, I've already started it as of today, so I'll probably be done with this one by tomorrow, actually, because already I'm interested. And I'm sure if you are new to Geneva Rose, she also wrote The Perfect Marriage, Let me see. Do I have that book on my shelf available? Yes. She also wrote The Perfect Marriage, which was really good. I believe, did I give this a 5-star? I may have gave this a 5-star. I didn't look it up, y'all. But let me pause right here and say that if you're on Goodreads or Fable, look me up, y'all. Look me up. That's where you will find my reviews for all of the books that I read, as well as a little more in depth. Like once I read the book, I may say as much as I can without spoiling it on Goodreads or Fable. So, hey, if you're not following me on there, go ahead and jump on there. But anywho, I'm back. But you don't have to read this one to read this one. I would say read this one first, just because some of those same characters, a couple of those characters are also in this book. So you want to read that one. You don't have to, but I just suggest that you do. Anywho, so we're going back to, it's been 11 years since high-powered attorney Sarah Morgan, which is a character in the first book, defended her husband Adam, who is also a character in the first book, against the charge of murdering his mistress. Sarah has long since moved on, starting a family with her new husband, Bob Miller, and changing careers. Her life is back to being exactly how she always wanted it, or is it? After discovering Bob engaged in a one-night stand, she wastes no time filing for divorce. This girl can't pick up, can she? However, amid their ugly separation, new DNA evidence is uncovered in the case against her first husband, Adam. Okay? Adam forcing the police to reopen the investigation and putting Sarah right back in the spotlight. Everyone wants to know what really happened. Most of all, former Deputy Hudson, who is hell-bent on finding the truth. But when the woman Bob slept with is reported missing, here we go. He and Sarah start to fight dirty in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse ensues, filled with page-turning suspense and Geneva Rose's signature twists and turns. This book will have readers wondering, can Bob and Sarah achieve the perfect divorce, or will it be till death do us part? Come on through. Y'all know I love me some domestic. And I know this is gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. All right, so we shall see. The next book that I have is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. Now, this book, this author, I put this book down, picked it back up. I really want to read a book by Ruth Ware and get started, because there are so many of her books that I want to get, that I've already, read the synopsis on and want to get them. But I had this on my shelf already. So I said, I'm going to read this one. And I'm pretty sure, does she have something else She has a new book coming out, if it's not already out. Let me see real quick, if y'all don't mind me looking it up. Can y'all hold that mule for a minute? Hold your mule. Let me see real quick. I believe that, she has a new release this year. And I could have said I just, pop it up here, but yes, she has, the Woman in Suite 11. Is that out? Yeah, that's not going to be released till July. But then she also has one that I've been eyeing, One Perfect Couple. And make sure I put that on the screen. But like I said, she has so many books that I am interested in reading. So I'm just going to start with this doodad. And then by the time July roll around, I should be ready to grab her new release. All right. I'm going to let y'all, let me read it. Let me slow down and read this one. In this tightly wound, enthralling story reminiscent of Agatha Christie's works, Lo Blaylock, a journalist who writes for a travel magazine, has just been given the assignment of a lifetime. A week on a luxury cruise with only a handful of cabins. The sky is clear, the water's calm, and the veneered select guests jovial as the exclusive cruise ship, the Aurora, begins her voyage in the picturesque North Sea. At first, Lo's stay is nothing but pleasant. The cabins are plush, the dinner parties are sparkling, and the guests are elegant. But as the week wears on, frigid winds whip the deck, gray skies fall, and Lo hears what she can only describe as a dark and terrifying nightmare, a woman being thrown overboard. Oh, my Lord. The problem: all passengers and crew members remain accounted for, and so the ship sails on as if nothing has happened, despite Lo's desperate attempt to convey that something or someone has gone terribly, terribly wrong. With surprising twists, spine-tingling turns, and a setting that proves as uncomfortably claustrophobic as it is eerily beautiful, Ruth Ware offers up another taut and intense read in The Woman in Captain. Yeah, if you going on a cruise, if you going on a cruise this summer or on a cruise right now, I don't know if y'all want to read this book, but I'm sure gonna read it. Okay, I am going to read it. It sounds like it's gonna be good, so I'll let you know. The next book that I have is a new author to me. I haven't heard anybody talk about this book. It's a book that I just randomly chose to get, and it is For Better and For Worse by Margot Hunt. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's a domestic, okay? This book came out in, I forget, 2018, okay? And so I wanted to go ahead and get that in. It says, on their first date back in law school, Natalie and Will Clark bonded over drinks, dinner, and whether they could get away with murder. Wait a minute. Bonded over drinks, dinner, and whether they could get away with murder. Now married, okay, two crazies married each other. They'll put the latter to the test when an unchecked danger in their community places their son in jeopardy. Working as a criminal defense attorney, Nat refuses to rely on the broken legal system to keep her family safe. She knows that if she wants justice, you have to get it yourself, okay? Shocked to discover Nat's taking matters into her own hands, Will has no choice but to dirty his also. His family is in way too deep to back down now. He's just not sure he recognizes the woman he married. Nat's always been fiercely protective, but never this ruthless or calculating. With the police poking holes in their airtight plan, what will be the first to fall apart? Their scandalous secret or their marriage? Sounds like somebody gonna tell to me. Sound like we gonna have some snitching going on here. All right. So I can't wait to jump into this one. The next book that I have is An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. I think I mentioned in one of my other videos, I really wanted to read all of her books. I love The Couple Next Door, honey, did it for me. And so I've read several of her books already. I actually want to get through her books, and then I'm going to do a whole video on Sherry Lapina myself. I'm trying to think, does she have a new one coming out? I just did a new release video, and I cannot remember. But if she has a new one coming out, I'll make sure I plug it in. But for now, I wanted to read this one, and it says, a weekend retreat at a cozy mountain lodge is supposed to be the perfect getaway, but when the storm hits, no one is getting away. Now, y'all know it's always got to be a snowstorm or something, and then somebody crazy got to show up. All right. So it's winter in the Catskills, and Mitchell's Inn, nestled deep in the woods. Here we go, in the woods, is the perfect setting for a relaxing, maybe even romantic weekend away. It boasts spacious old rooms with huge wood-burning fireplaces, a well-stocked wine cellar, and opportunities for cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, or just curling up with a good murder mystery. Right. So when the weather takes a turn for the worse and a blizzard cuts off the electricity and all contact with the outside world, the guests settle in and try to make the best of it. Soon, though, one of the guests turns up dead. It looks like an accident. But when a second guest dies, they start to panic. Let me tell you something. I am going to be running through somebody's snow. I am not going to be waiting there. Okay? I'm not. I'm just not. Within the snowed in paradise, something or someone is picking off the guests one by one, and there's nothing they can do but hunker down and hope they can survive the storm and one another. Look, let me tell you something. I'd rather try and run and get out of there than to sit there and just be horrified, waiting for somebody to kill me. This is going to be something else. It's always a snowstorm. You always in some woods. Child, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I'll let y'all know about it. The next one that I have is Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. Now, she is definitely a new author to me. I've been watching several thriller booktubers talk about this book, and so I'm really excited about reading this one. So let's see what this one is about. It says, I'm here to help. I'm your friend. You can trust me. She done lied 3 times before I even got to synopsis. We gonna see, okay? Salone Caraway is a liar. Harmless lies, mostly to make her self-proclaimed sad little life a bit more interesting. So when Salone sees a young girl in tears at a park one afternoon, she can't help herself. She tells the girl's very attractive dad she's a nurse and helps him pull a bee sting from her child's foot. With this lie, a chance encounter, Sloane becomes the nanny for the wealthy and privileged household of Jay and Violet Lockhart, the perfect New York couple with a brownstone, a daughter in private school, and summers on Block Island. But maybe Sloane isn't the only one lying, and all that picture-perfect harbors a much more dangerous truth. To say anything more is to spoil the most exciting, twisty, and bitingly smart suspense novel to come out in years. Careful what you lie for. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Oh my goodness. We have quite a few thriller authors that have something. Leanne Moriarty has something to say, honey. Amy Tintera. Okay? So I can't wait to jump into this one. Last but not least, friends, I have The Guest by B.A. Paris. This is a new author for me as well. Once again, this author has so many books. She has so many books that I want to read, but I got to do a taste test first because, honey, we say don't judge a book by its cover, okay? But this one came out in 2024, so this is a pretty new release here, okay? So I can't wait to see if I like it and I can share it with you guys and tell you all about it. But it says, Iris and Gabriel have just arrived home from a make or break holiday, but a shock awaits them. One of their closest friends, Laura, is in their house. The atmosphere quickly becomes tense as she oversteps again and again. Sleeping in their bed, wearing Iris's clothes, she would have been out. Even rearranging the furniture. Yes, she would have been looking through the window, okay? Laura has walked out on her husband and their good friend Pierre over his confession of an affair and a secret child. Iris and Gabriel want to be supportive of their friends, but as Laura's mood becomes increasingly unpredictable, her presence takes a toll. Iris and Gabriel's only respite comes in the form of a couple new to town, but when with them comes their gardener who has a checkered past. Soon secrets from all their past will unravel, some more dangerous than they could have known. Let me tell you something, okay? I understand it. You know, friends is friends, honey. But what you're not going to do is you're not coming in my house wearing my clothes, okay? You in my bed. You can't go to the guest room. No, you're not going to be in my bed. And you rearranging my furniture. Sounds like she two kinds of crazy to me. But we gonna see what the end gonna be on this one. It sounds like it's gonna be good, y'all. And I can't wait to tell you about it. All right. So those are all of the books that I plan on reading. I don't know. I might have to think of a new name. I mean, to be read, I might have to think of a new name for my videos as far as TBRs. I don't know. Books I want to read. I don't know. Because I feel like here lately, I'm a little caged in if I specifically say that I'm going to read certain books. But we allowed to change our mind, right, friends? We are allowed to change our mind because that's our business, right? So we going to do what we want to do, and we going to try to get these books read. And I can't wait to share them with you guys on my wrap up. Look, if you have not already done so, now is the time to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Hey, and just let me know you made it to the end of this video by adding this emoji. Even if you just say hi, use the emoji and let me know you watched to the end. Until next time, friends, keep being who you are, and that's a star. So keep shining. Bye.